Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with both Slothy and Brian. Slothy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Kind of wish this smoke would have been gone by the long weekend, but other than that, just fine. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yeah, the smoke is pretty rough. It's making it so everyone just can't even breathe in their own houses. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, can't imagine how it is up more north.
Yeah, where it's actually on fire.
Yeah,
you've been to Edmonton. How is it there?
No, it's pretty horrible there. It's made some cool looking mornings and stuff, but yeah, it's for everyone who doesn't know, there's tons of crazy wildfires and stuff going on in Alberta. So it's interesting to say the least. What the
Alberta seems to be turned into the new Hades.
Yeah, what it seems to look like these days. It's hopefully it's back soon to not being off. But yeah, how are you doing, Brian?
Oh, I am amazing. I've been playing a lot of Magic. After I got recovered there last weekend, got some new games in with some new in my decks. But a new game for the series that I absolutely love, Starship Troopers, dropped there on, I think, Wednesday, and I've just been, all my free time has been going into that right now. I absolutely love it.
What? You haven't mentioned this a single time.
The only good bug is a dead bug, Daniel.
Yeah, Brian's been really talking about that.
Make sure we're all doing our part. You want to be a citizen?
You just love it.
It's just been so much fun. The community already is probably so much better than League of Legends from what you're used to.
I haven't played League in ages. It's not great, but a prison seems better than League of Legends. It's a fun game. We're having fun.
You do what I say.
Yeah, right.
Mandatory fun time.
Yeah, that's group hug. Group hug is mandatory fun time. Yeah, so this was a commander that you were actually just really, really excited about. You've told me lots and lots of times that you really wanted to build this one. Tell them what we're doing this week. What's the commander?
The commander is Shalai and Hallar, and I'm just realizing I'm cutting off of the power and toughness of my creatures, so I'll have to fix that. But Shalai and Hallar is a colorless red, green, and a white. It's an angel elf. It's one of the new team up or pairings. And it has flying and vigilance. And whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, Shalai and Hallar deals that much damage to target opponent. And it's a 3/3 starting out.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Very infinite combo enabling.
I just thought it was absolutely amazing to just because I finished at the time of its release, I finished building my Atraxa counters, but I was just everyone has an Atraxa, so I was I kind of want to build something else. So I took all of the pieces that went into my Atraxa and shifted it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's in a color that I don't typically play. I'm not the biggest red player besides my Nekusar deck, which has been just going off lately, and I don't know what's going on here. But
I've been having fun with that deck.
Side note, draw people 65 cards at a time.
I like it. Yeah, this deck has been pretty cool when I've seen it and stuff. You keep editing it up and really working on it, so I'm excited to see what you've put into it and stuff. Do you want to start in your artifacts here?
I'll just call out the quick one-offs because we only have one of them. I included one of the new invasions, which is the invasion of Moog. And this invasion costs 2, a green and a white. And it's whenever invasion of Moog enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So
yeah,
again, it's
already
exactly
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I'm actually successful in defeating the invasion, it flips over to Bloom Wielder Dryads. And it's a creature Dryad Ward 2. At the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So again, it's a reoccurring token, which just keeps going with most of the other cards. Or most of the time when a single token's put on, it might then become 3 counters, counters instead of tokens. My apologies.
I like this card a lot. It's really nice artwork too.
Right?
Yeah.
And the foils just absolutely look amazing for the one that I gave you. I think it's the Viking one.
I thought it was Theros with Afara on the back.
I also gave you the Kaltheim one.
Is it
with them on the bridge.
Oh yeah.
That was the first one I gave you that I didn't really want to give up because it just looked too good.
Yeah, these look really cool. Just the backside artwork of this is just very well done.
Yeah.
The Dryads. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
Off the
I would love a
Phyrexian.
big print of that one. Magic really needs to get its stuff together with printing. There's too many things I want on my wall and just do not have.
Right.
Yeah.
The other one off is just a card that I cannot preach enough about when I'm out at the LGS. Like it's a 3-drop Planeswalker, which I think it's a new staple. What was that? The Magic Wozniak guy. He's like, we're not going to be printing staples anymore. This is a green staple. This should go in every green deck. And the card that I'm hyping about is Ren and Realmbreaker, 1 and 2 green, legendary Planeswalker Ren. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. It's +1, untap up to 1 target land becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance, whatever. -2, mill 3 cards. You put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. Or -7, you get an emblem with you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. Do you know how much graveyard removal I've seen? Just none. Yeah.
Not many people are running Endurance or Bajuka Bogs. Yeah.
Play your Bazooka Bugs, folks.
Yeah. I even asked, like, when we were out playing with Adrian, I looked at him, I was like, are you running a Bajuka Bug? Because he was the only person that could have had it.
Yeah, there's not too much that actually wrecks Graveyard, right? And it is such a strong... Destroying puts things there, right? And unless you have the Path of Exile, Swords of Plowshares, they can just replay them if they have stuff like this. This turns any deck into a Muldrotha.
And not a single card, or like a single card type.
Yeah, per turn, you can play every one you want of it.
Yeah, it's the same turn that Ren dies. If you do the -7, you can bring her back.
Yeah, which is such a cool thing to do. It also just fits in the spot of Chromatic Lantern, which is a great card. It's also even in your deck list. I just saw it up there. Yeah, Chromatic Lantern is great. One of the best mana fixing cards available. So
Absolutely, yeah.
And yeah, like right here on this one, saying the Ren and Realmbreaker foil that I have is anywhere from $15 to $19. Like, I just think that this card is just so powerful. Basically, I've pulled 4. I've put them into all of my decks, or some of my decks, because the graveyard recursion is, why wouldn't you want it? Like, all of my Selesnya decks, I'm running Wheel of Sun and Moon. I don't want my cards in my graveyard. I want them to remain in a playable state for me.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What's better than casting a spell? Casting it twice.
There's definitely a few decks that I need some Rens to be into the deck.
Yeah.
I wish this the only thing that I think could make this better, it's the lands you control are each basic type, like the Dryad of Elysian Grove.
Yeah.
But I think that would really pump that up. Give it some play extra lands. What are we talking about? Let's just really get this card to the top.
That's very true. Let's just draw it.
Right.
So yeah, we can jump into the artifacts if one of you guys want to start us off there.
Sure. First artifact we got here is Arcane Signet. 2 mana. Tapped, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. 3-color commander. Good choice.
As like I've been kind of mentioning, even in our Discord, I'm trying to step away from the fast mana and stuff like that. So I'm using a lot more of these little mana rocks, and I'm finding it very fun because the deck becomes a lot more consistent when you have them in there.
I was going to say too, the same thing I've done without so much. My Jeweled Lotuses are all index stuff like that, right? I've been having a lot of fun playing with silly rocks.
Yeah.
That's where I got my idea from you. I was like, damn, Dan, you got like 8 in here. Like, what's going on? I was like, oh, I got to do the same thing because it works.
Well, when you run out of your dual lands, that's where these really shine because you make them a little more consistent, like you said.
Are you calling mana rocks the poor man's dual lands?
That's exactly what I'm calling them. They're just this is just an expensive plateau coming up next with the Boros Locket. Plateau for 3. It's Boros Locket's 3 mana. It taps for 1 red or 1 white, and then you can pay a hybrid 4 times. So red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white. Sack it, draw 2 cards. It's great early ramp. It's great late just to throw away and try to search for an answer if you need one.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to draw cards. Or if you have your Ren and you want to just keep throwing this out as a draw and replayable draw.
Think about it.
Yeah. There you go.
That's perfect, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Just pay 4 at end step, toss it away, replay it when you feel like replaying it.
Yeah.
That's very true, actually. If you just need to be able to try to squeeze out that win at the end, draw 2 cards.
Well, every game you have 400 treasures, I'm sure. So
surprisingly not.
Maybe not in this one, but in a lot of decks you do. Throw 4 treasures away, replay this, replay Ren, throw 4 treasures away, replay this.
Draw 2 cards.
Quite the expensive draw engine, but it would work.
Yeah.
The next one we have here is our artifact Ren. We got Chromatic Lantern, 3 colorless. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color, and it can tap and add 1 mana of any color.
Yeah.
I love Chromatic Lantern. It's such a cool card. It's nice to see. I keep saying, by the way, it's nice to see the cards have come down in price, but that's because I like to buy them. But the more I scan my collection and see how much some of the cards have come down in price, the more I'm like, maybe they should stop bringing them down in price like this.
Yeah. My collection's rather small compared to yours. I will 100% agree with that.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Some of the price drops that I've seen. That's not made me happy.
Here, Slothy, I'll help you out. I'll give you a nice card. So just to help us speed through these, because we've got a lot of meta rocks. We have the staples, Commander Sphere, and Fel Warstone. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. You can sacrifice the Commander Sphere to draw a card. And Fel Warstone is tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent could produce. So not our color land. So
again, your Commander Sphere is a replayable draw engine with your Ren.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
But Slothy, you take this next one.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Ozlith, the Shattered Spire. 1 and a green for legendary artifact. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on an artifact or creature you control, that many +1 are put on it instead. 1 and a green and tap it. Put a +1/+1 counter on target artifact or creature you control. Activate only as a sorcery, and it has cycling for 2.
I like that card a lot.
I really like this one.
Oh, so many. Just this one and the tribute to the Realm Tree.
That's a great card. That card's going to hold its value for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I need a few more of the Ozliths. They're pretty cool.
You don't need more of that little guy.
I haven't been into buy anything. I've been trying to organize. It's just a mess.
I have only seen a single Ozlith, and I picked that one up when I saw it.
You
but
monster!
I haven't seen one.
Who buys cards out of stores? Who would do that?
You.
Yeah.
I got
you to the point that they started cutting you off.
I was gonna say I don't know if I told you that, Slothy. They cut me off from buying a common.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
Animals. I bought them all again the next day too. You can't take them from me.
I'll come back.
Yeah. I gotta come in like I'm an addict and I'm just going around. Hey, is Adrian here? No? Okay, please give me those cards. Frontlid's Fair is a cool card.
Daniel just has a bunch of paper cuts all over his fingers.
We have Selesnya Locket, 3 mana. It taps for a green or a white, and then the same quad hybrid to sack it and draw 2 cards. And you've got Soul Ring. Just it's in the deck. 1 mana, taps to add 2 mana.
I had to go out of province for these.
Yeah, you just got a big mail day. Anyone on the Instagram saw that?
Yeah, 8 Soul Ring or 11 Soul Rings. I needed those. Then obviously we got our Swiftfoot boots because you need to afford some protection for your commander because you're really going to get some hate with him or them because there's 2. But equipped creature has hexproof and haste. Equipped for 1 and CMC is 2. The only thing is I don't have the other Zoom boots because those are hard
so
to
expensive
find.
now. Like $13.
Yeah, they're now a case card.
That's nuts. That's one that I keep saying, oh, don't reprint things now, but maybe reprint that one for me. That one, though, it will be in Commander Legends. There's almost no way that they cannot. They'll probably put it in at rare.
Fine that they make another type of boots.
That's speaking of that, they're probably going to also give us Commander Plate finally again.
They're doing what, sorry?
The Legends set that's coming out, like the Commander Masters. Is probably going to finally give us a reprint of, like, I know Jeweled Lotus is coming back, and not every table is into Jeweled Lotus, but they are going to for sure put in Commander's Plate. I would bet heavy on the fact that Commander's Plate will finally get a reprint. It's never in stock, ever, anywhere. It's not in stock online. It's just always out.
Yeah, that's one that I think that I'm very lucky that I jumped on right away and pulled a bunch of. because they're very hard to find, but they're so good.
I always pull terribly.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I've watched you. You need me to open some of your packs, Dan.
I have my handy dandy tool for
Brothers.
pulling good, and it's called my bank card.
Yeah, your wallet.
Yeah.
But on the topic of Commander, for those of you that are in the Calgary to Edmonton area, we have the Command Fest that's coming up in June.
Oh yeah, that's a cool announcement. Yeah, we're going to be one of the creators at the face-to-face event. So hopefully,
what a segue.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do a few cool interviews with people that are out there, get some fun stream games in for everyone who checks the stream games out. We're going to bring our whole live setup. Basically, I think that's a big thing that differentiates what we do. Our setup's fully portable. I can record these games anywhere. We can record this stuff anywhere. Me and Brian both have portable setups. It's not so bad.
You know what the real question is? What else do they record on the side?
Oh no, I don't think that's the thing.
Those forearms, Dan.
If you go on his footage, there's just like 7 hours of him just doing this in front of every camera.
Just him flexing in front of a mirror. We do joke that he's that guy. He's that Greek guy that fell in love with himself and fell into the water and drowned.
Maybe I like myself a little.
Just a little.
It's called self-love. Look it up. But yes, if you want to come out and get some games with us and you are in the Alberta region, yeah, we're going to be at the minimum at that one, and we should be at a few more of those things.
Also, when you go to checkout, use promo code into the 99 for $5 off your entry. I totally forgot we got a promo code.
Yeah, I also forgot that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that was very nice. And we got some stuff to give away too while we're there.
Oh yeah, we got. They actually gave us a big chunk of stuff to give away, so we should be doing some pretty fun stuff. Haven't decided how we're going to be doing it. I think we'll give some away in person and maybe some away through the podcast as well. So
yeah, we got to figure out the rules and everything. So definitely stay tuned, guys, because those packs are amazing. I believe they will need to be handed out there.
I think that would make sense.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But it's right around the time some of the events, like I'm really actually excited. Some of the events are based around the new Lord of the Rings set, even though I'm not super stoked about the Lord of the Rings set. But to be able to get like a pre-con and play there with people, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm also not a giant fan of the Lord of the Rings stuff. Again, I'm just saying that based on there's too many sets. But
you're not doing your part.
But yeah, except Brian, Brian wants a Starship Trooper set. There's it would be fun to crack some pre-cons and just play some pre-con stream games while we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
I'm down.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Should I just run a 20-hour stream? They kick me out of the hall. No, it's time to go to bed. But we're still streaming.
We just need to find out for something for infinite power.
Yeah, you get it. Okay,
but continuing.
Yeah, back to your list.
The Talisman of Conviction. Oh, what a side tangent again. We got so it costs 2. You can tap it to add 1 colorless, or you can tap it to add a red and a white. And Talisman of Conviction deals 1 damage to you. Yeah. Daniel, you can take your boy away.
Yeah, I do love
it earlier.
No, this isn't the one I need. I need the other Ozolith. I got lots of these Ozolith. I'm the reason there's none of these Ozolith.
Oh, okay. I got you then on the other Ozolith.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, you're hoarding the other ones. I've got lots of these ones. The Ozolith is 1 mana legendary artifact. Whenever a creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if it has counters on it, you can move the counters from the Ozolith onto target creature, and that is a big problem in a deck like this.
Because it also everything else that's in my deck will proc again.
I kill Shalai. All right, I replay Shalai and go to combat.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah.
40 damage to you, Daniel. Okay, I respect that.
So we'll leave I want to kind of leave my creatures because my creatures are like my meat and potatoes.
Okay.
So we can jump in we'll jump into our enchantments next. So Slothy, you want to take that first one?
Sure. First enchantment we've got is Branching Evolution, 2 and a green. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters we put on a creature you control, twice that many or put on that creature instead.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Pretty good.
I absolutely love it. I got some other stuff coming in because I love my dinosaurs, so my Hardened Scale is going to be updated once we get to it.
Nice.
Nice.
I put these in almost in everything. I I bought them when they were not this expensive, but I got Burgeoning. It's 1 green mana. Whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. I love this and the Exploration together. I think they just work out so well in tandem.
Yeah, you can really dump a lot in.
As you've seen.
Yeah, it's
for years.
Especially when you play so many like draw-based decks. That's my favorite stuff is draw, right? So
yeah.
Draw and enter the battlefield. Burgeoning's been like definitely a staple for me.
Yeah.
Brian, take this one too. Obviously, you want this one.
This is my baby. These are my babies. We got Doubling Season, 4 and a green enchantment. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many tokens instead. If an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many counters on that permanent instead.
So and just double damaging for you,
yeah.
I like it a lot. You've got your Exploration we were just talking about, just the 1 green mana. You can play an additional land each turn.
Take the next one too, Dan.
You've also
already spoke about that one.
Yeah, you've also got the Hardened Scales you were talking about. 1 green mana. If 1 or more 1/1 counters would be placed on a creature control, that many plus 1/1 counters are placed on it instead.
When you have multiple of these enchantments out, it's fantastic.
It gets goofy really quickly.
It's a phenomenal 1-drop in a counter-based deck because you just basically made it so people have to respond. So they've got an early game target to get rid of, or like you can't leave something like Hardened Scales sitting around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
You can't. This next one, though.
We've got our Hydra's Growth, 2 and a green. This one's an aura. You can enchant creature. When Hydra's Growth enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. And at the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on enchanted creature.
I had to go out of province for this one, too. No one had it locally.
It's another card that can't be left alone.
Yeah.
It has to be taken off the battlefield. It just gets so silly so fast, especially when you have your Hardened Scales out, your Doubling Seasons out.
Branching Evolution.
Yeah, any of those cards, you're doubling. It's bad. It's bad news all around.
I love it, though. It's so good. Then we have our Tribute to the World Tree, 3 green. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card if its power is 3 or greater. Otherwise, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it.
It's a phenomenal card.
It's really good.
I didn't even realize it's $11.
Oh yeah, it keeps going up in price because again, it's so good. 3 green pips. Green is probably the easiest color to hit pips in.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is in every style of deck you're playing. This is great. If you're playing a deck with big creatures, this is just a great 3-mana draw engine. If you're playing an elf deck where it's just little trash creatures, now you've got all of your Llanowars are 3/3s. You've got your Priest of Titanias are 3/3s. That does really help out against a lot of things. There's no downside to this card. I have it in Tanazir. That's one of the immediate pickups that I got because I have so many trashed little garbage tokens that come in. And then I also constantly bounce Tanazir. So I'm constantly getting my draw. I'm constantly getting these counters on things. It's a really, really fun card to play around with. It's made Tanazir just really, really go off. I've got it out to a few games with Tanazir. I love all those Strixhaven dragons so much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Strixhaven Elder. They were Elder dragons, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they were excellent.
I still secretly believe that the other uninhabited parts of the plains have the other colors of those dragons. Strixhaven Civil Wars. Let's go. That Arcavios is one of my favorite planes. It's really fun. I talk so much about how much I enjoyed Strixhaven.
It was a really fun set, actually. I did really enjoy it.
The only Elder Dragon I don't have every other one, I have a deck that I'm very, very proud of with it. Like it's very cool Elder Dragon decks, but I haven't figured out Velomachus yet. I just haven't figured out how to make the cool Boros one. It's such a weird ability for it, but it's still, I've got one. It's just not... It's not like the other. It's not like my Shadrix deck or my Belladros deck. Where every time people see those, they're like, okay, that's pretty cool. And they're my favorite decks to play. I love them. Galazeth is pretty silly too.
Yeah.
Yep.
They should never have printed Galazeth.
That's a Myopika deck.
Yeah, right? You get it. We also have Uncivil Unrest, 4 and a red for an enchantment. Non-token creatures you control have Riot. So they enter either with a 1/1 counter or haste. Phenomenal ability in this. And if a creature control with a 1/1 counter would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double damage. That's not even combat damage. So that's just everything you want. This is doubling your commander damage. This is doubling the damage of all your creatures that are getting these tokens. This is giving haste. That's good. That's a very good counter.
Go.
Yeah.
What's that one from?
It's from the precon.
Nice. I like that a lot.
But I actually pulled it in one of my packs.
Yeah, that's a really good card.
So we'll go to sorceries, and then we'll go into my instances, and then we'll hit up that creatures to round her on out.
Sure.
So obviously, we're going to have the typical ramp that's in a green deck. So we have the Cultivate, 2 in a green, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards and put it onto the battlefield tapped, and the other into your hand, and then shuffle your library. And obviously the Farseek, 1 in a green, search your library for a plains, island, swamp, or mountain. Unfortunately, no forests. And put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
I'm guessing in your land base, you're fetching triumphs with this.
I wish I had more triumphs to put in here, but
you're out of triumphs.
Yeah, I got targeted lands for it.
That's okay. All right. Brian's run out of the triumphs. Yeah. So
I built way too many like multiple color decks or 3 to 4 color decks.
I was going to say now
I'm not Daniel.
I was going to say now you understand why you have to run mana rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kodama's Reach is our next one. It's a 2 and a green. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put 1 onto the battlefield tapped, the other into your hand, then shuffle. Just other Cultivate. Cultivate 2.
2.0.
Then we've got our Rampant Growth, 1 in a green. Search your library for basic land, put it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle.
I saw this foil and I just needed to buy them.
I need more of these foils.
So
I don't have a single one of them. I didn't even know this artwork was there because I kind of skipped the double master stuff or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's only like $2 if you find it.
That's really good. And I love the flavor text that Lord Windgrace dedicated his life to restoring Urborg to its former glory. It's phenomenal. That's really cool.
Yeah. Lastly, in our ramp package
flex.
here, we got 3 visits, 1 in a green. Search your library for a forest card, put that card onto the battlefield, not tapped, and then shuffle your library.
That's another one I think is going to get a reprint.
It needs it. I would love more. I need more.
Already back up to $10.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming that no stores or places can keep it in. It's just such a needed ramp.
They printed it on common. I bought every one that I could find.
Not mine, sir.
That's I mass bought this card out from every store I could when it came.
Yeah.
It's a great card. It's just normal, nice traditional ramp in colors. You're playing, it's a green card, it's already going to go at a minimum fetch a green, and it's 2 mana ramp. So in any kind of deck, it's great. In elf decks, it's great. In multicolor decks, it's great. It's just a great card.
The statement of forest.
Yeah. And it's also the fact that it brings them in not tapped is cool. The fact that you can search out duels is cool. Yeah. You also have your Unnatural Restoration. 1 in a green, return target permanent from your graveyard to your hand and proliferate. And in a deck that's running so many counters, you want it.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just too good not to put in there.
I like that one a lot.
For such a low cost, yeah, I was like, it's 2 CMC, and I get to fetch something, and then if I have a bunch of creatures that I proliferate them.
Well, yeah, it's great recursion. It's, again, great proliferating for the stuff you're doing. I like it all.
I have to say, in all will be one, they made so many really good uncommons.
Mm-hmm.
Like Prolonged Phyresis, stuff like that. I think that like All Will Be One will probably be one of my top sets now. I really enjoyed it.
Blossoming Sands has such cool flavor text.
Oh, the land?
Yeah. The Copper Host brought a hideous mockery of new life to Amonkhet's death-cursed desert. Oh, Amonkhet's such a cool set.
Okay, we're not in lands yet, Dan. How about you start us off?
Oh, do you have lands you want to talk about later? I was just looking through.
I actually came back after Amonkhet, so I really never got to hear much about it other than what you love the
lore. You love the lore. Let's do a lore episode on the Amonkhet. You'll fall in love. It's one of the
sounds like a deal.
The cards are very cool, but the lore, once you know the story of Amonkhet, it's in my opinion impossible to not love the set. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me when we do that episode. Did you want to do
tell us in the comments?
I was going to say, did you want to do any of these lands before we go through them?
We haven't even touched the instance yet.
Yeah, I know, but I'm scrolling up.
Oh, okay. I don't think really.
You have your Karn's Bastion for proliferate. You've got some pretty fancy looking shocks.
I really like the art on those shocks.
Oh yeah, I went through and I bought a lot of the new ones from that set, or the unset, the lands. I just thought they were too good not to have in there, and I'm kind of flashing them through on the screen for everybody. Yeah, other than that, Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, so everything's a forest because most of my deck is green. So, and then a lot of my actual basic lands are the actual foil lands from that set too.
That's cool.
I spent a pretty penny on that one.
I like that. All right, now let's do our instance.
Obviously, we're starting off with the Beast Within. 2 and a green. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token.
I say this every week that when we see these cards up close like this, you really get a chance to look at the art and the flavor text, and that's crazy flavor text.
I just started reading it too.
Yeah, kill the weak so they can't drag the strong down to their level. This is true compassion. Benzir, Archdruid of Temple of Might. All right, Benzir, chill, brother. I like that a lot. That's very cool.
Bringing you down.
I like that a lot. That's very cool. You've got your Chaos Warp, 2 in a red. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent, they put it onto the battlefield. I'm shocked you haven't got into the Wild Magic Surge yet, Brian.
I think I had some, but I traded it in. I'm just really using stuff that I have.
That's fair.
Or I have one, and I think it's in Nekuzar.
I just love Wild Magic Surge.
Next up, we've got Heroic Intervention, 1 and a green. Permanents you control get hexproof and indestructible until end of turn.
Slothy was calling out the price of this card earlier.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite cards of all time. Jeez.
I used to buy a lot.
It's definitely
at the $10 mark.
It puts a lot of work in though, right?
Now. Yeah, and it's not like it hasn't been reprinted.
Like I said, it's one of my staples. It's 2 CMC. Like, why am I not including this as my protection?
Exactly.
Then we have Crozen Grip, 2 and a green, split second, destroy target artifact or enchantment.
Should be an evergreen deck. It should be as commonly played as Sol Rings, and I never see it in games. Yeah, it's a great card.
Yeah.
I went in, I was building a new deck, and I walked in, and I was like, do you guys have any Crozen Grips? Because I'm going to need them. It's part of my staple. Like, if I'm playing green, it's part of my staple, removable package.
Yeah. I play them in a lot of decks.
Whoever takes these two, just take them as a package.
I'll take both. You've got your Path to Exile, 1 white, exile target creature. Its controller searches for a basic land, may search, puts it on the battlefield, tap, then shuffles. I can't see why you wouldn't. And then you have your Swords to Plowshare, 1 white, exile target creature. Its controller gains life equal to its power. Those are rough cards to get hit with. I don't like that.
I think I've bought a lot of these too. Like, even when the big reprint just came through, I picked up like 6 or 7 of them. I'm out again. But it's a removal, like exile is so much better than a destruction. I will always pick these up to put into any of my decks.
Very, very playable cards, yeah.
This is a new one that I really enjoyed. I'll let Slothy take it.
Sure. We got Take Up the Shield, 1 and a green, or 1 and a white, sorry. Put a +1/+1 encounter on target creature, gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn.
I think this is one of those infinite combo pieces, potentially.
Yeah,
if I have the Sun Crowned out.
Or one of the, it's not Baneslayer. It's another one of your angels that whenever you gain life, Archangel of Thune, whenever you gain life.
So she's in there too, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And this is one of the cards that I absolutely love to run. Tribute to the Wild, 1 and a green. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact or enchantment. Yeah,
you've been playing that one a lot.
I've been playing for a very long time, and you know what? I haven't seen anyone else really use it. It targets everyone, and if you hit them early, like you can hit all the Sol Rings and Arcane Signets if you're dropping it like turn 1 or turn 2 or turn 2 or turn 3.
I've got it in decks that like hate on the table. I play it, but it's not a salty card if it's like standalone. It's just good value, but I play it in my salty decks. So
as you would.
It definitely doesn't. Yeah, it definitely doesn't make it better. I'll tell you that right now.
Buddy.
All right, so this is your creature section.
That was, one of you guys can start us off here. This is one of the newer ones that came, or is this a reprint?
Reprint, yeah.
Okay, but new fancy art.
Very cool new art. You want to take this one, Sloth, or you want me to?
I'll take this one. We got Anafenza, Kintree Spirit. Double white for a 2/2 legendary spirit soldier. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, bolster 1.
Free 1/+1 counters.
This one was originally from Dragons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very cool that it got reprinted with this new artwork and then with a like March of Machines based flavor text on it. I think that's very cool that they redid that with these old cards.
Mm-hmm.
The Machine Legion countered her strength, but a spirit of sand, sun, and memory could never be completed.
They coveted, but yes.
Oh,
It's too small on your screen. I told you this.
where's coveted?
It's the Machine Legion's
Legion.
coveted.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. We have the Archangel of Thune, one of the infinite combo ones if you have lifelink on it. 3 double white for a 3/4 angel, flying lifelink. Whenever you gain life, you put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's a problem. That's a giant problem in general. Even if you have 5 creatures and you do 1 damage and you don't have a lifelink loop and Shalai doesn't have lifelink, just the fact that every time you put 1 counter on something, it's,
Yeah.
That little guy, you don't need to worry about that little guy.
Yeah, you attack with this and bolt for 5. It's a lot. Shalai can really output a crazy amount of damage so fast.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, that I don't typically target. So I typically will go around the table. So like when 1 trigger stacks, I go 2 damage to you, 3 damage to you.
Not me. Whoever's the threat gets it.
Yeah.
Whoever's the threat or whoever played Cyclonic Rift earlier in the night. Either or. Yeah.
To help out, we got Birds of Paradise, 1 green, flying, tap 1 to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And then to really help out, we got Bloom Tender, which is 1 and a green, Elf Druid, tap it. For each color among permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool.
Yeah.
This next card puts in work, so enjoy.
We've got our Botanical Brawler. Green and a white for a 0/0 Elemental Warrior with Trample, and enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on another permanent you control, if it's the first time +1/+1 counters have been put on that permanent this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Botanical Brawler.
Yeah, I could see that getting out of control.
Yeah.
That's
especially
very cool.
again with any of those other enchantments.
Yeah. You take the next one, Brian. You really wanted this one in the deck.
I actually pulled it.
Nice.
Thank you, Daniel, for
Good
bringing
job.
that with you.
Good job. I didn't have an extra one.
Oh, I thought you said you did.
I thought I did. I did not. I only have the one from the pre-con. I didn't get another one.
Oh, okay. So Bright Palm, Soul Awakener, 1 red, green, white. Backup 1 for a Fox Shaman with backup 1. And whenever this creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on target creature. That creature can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less this turn.
Yeah.
I really was mine for the double.
You know what the backup does, right?
You can give +1/+1 to target creature or counter on.
Yes, but that creature also gets that ability for the turn.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it also gets the whenever it.
So if you back up 1 on Shalai and Hallar and you put a 1/1 counter on it, and then attack with Shalai and Hallar, you'll double the counters on it.
Lovely.
Yeah, so it gets whatever creature you give the backup ability to gets the rest of the ability until the end of the turn as well. So you have another doubler if you do it, or you can put a counter on your Fox Shaman here.
Amazing.
Yeah, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's the backup ability is very, very cool. I don't like that they didn't, like in the extended art, they didn't change the tech box size, so I don't know why they didn't write it in this one.
Yeah.
I don't know. They tend to not do that, it seems.
Yeah, but the backup
fancy
ability
ones.
is a new ability, so it's very easy to think, like a lot of people probably just think it puts a 1/1 counter on it. Backup 1, you put a 1/1 counter on it, whatever. But no, this lays down the law because it gives the ability to, when it attacks, you double.
Yeah.
It's gross. My Bright Palm deck, I really ripped the pre-con apart. I took 35 or some cards out of it, and I put a lot of extra combat in that thing.
I'll be honest, I couldn't even do that to the Infect deck.
Oh?
Yeah, 35 cards. I couldn't remove 35 cards.
Oh, no. I pulled out 35 cards because I wanted this to be an extra combat Voltron deck.
Oh, yeah. Never mind.
So a lot of times I've got like 5 combats, and if Bright Palm enters with a 1/1 on it and then just gets 5 instance of doubling it up with can't be blocked for the turn, becomes
Gross.
a problem. Yeah, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4. You guys get it.
Who wants to take this next one?
I'll take the champion. Champion's 1 double green for a 1/1 human warrior. Creatures with power less than it can't block other creatures or block creatures you control. And whenever another creature enters under your control, you put a 1/1 counter on it. It just grows so big all the time. Champion of Lampolt's also a card that can't stay on the field.
No, really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't leave that card alone. It has to die. In any deck at all that plays it, even if the creatures aren't huge counters, even if it's not a counter-themed deck, once this thing's at like a 5,
Some of them brings in tokens. Yeah, like 5/5, so it's a 6/6. Yeah, like that's majority of creatures aren't going to be able to block.
Yeah,
that
everything
one
you
time.
control is just unblockable. It's too good of a card. It's very strong, and you can't leave it alone.
I'm surprised it goes from anywhere from 50 cents to $6.
Yeah, depending. That was another good reprint too.
This next one, we have. I'll let Slothy take this one.
Sure. The next one we've got is Defiler of Vigor, 3 double green for a 6/6 Phyrexian Worm with Trample. As an additional cost to cast green permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost green less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of green mana you pay. Whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
That's pretty
Let's
good last
go.
ability. Yeah, that's pretty nutty.
It's a very solid card.
Yeah, like that's like it's a +1 on everybody. Let's go.
This makes me want to that Beru Worm Speaker card that they put out. This makes me want to build that deck more now.
You're welcome.
That's really good.
Yeah, it is really good.
I like that a lot. I'll
the
take
next
this one here.
here.
You take the one after.
Sorry?
I'll take this one. It's Druid of the Anima. 1 and a green for a 1/1 elf druid, and it taps for 1 red, green, or white. So just a perfect ramp package, and very, very cool art too. Not a card you see often.
No, it's not. Well, that was from Hallar, right?
Yeah, it's a very, very cool card. I want to start picking up some of these some of these like triplicate things because that's nothing.
Yeah.
Be able to get your color fixing. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Brian, I also don't have my phone with me today. Can you text me that card when you get a sec?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, nice. Okay, all right, please.
So the next one here that we have is Dusk Legion Duelist, 1 and a white, Vigilance. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on Dusk Legion Duelist, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just free card draw. Yeah, really can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, it's a great draw engine. And it can trigger every turn, which is cool.
Yeah.
I love the art on this next one.
Take it.
We got your Eternal Witness, 1 double green for a 2/1 human shaman. When Eternal Witness enters the battlefield, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand.
I've really got to go through the foil commons and uncommons of this set, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of really, really well done stuff.
Really nice, just take that artwork, take the flex up. That's what Commander's all about. It's the self-expression in a deck, and yeah.
Yeah.
He remembers all those who would otherwise be forgotten.
Yeah.
It's like a Remembrance Day on a card.
True. Do you know this next one here, Brian?
No, you can take that one, sir. I'll let you have a new one.
So we've got a Filigree Vector, 3 and a white for a 1/1 Phyrexian Construct. When it enters, you put a 1/1 counter on each of any number of target creatures and a charge counter on each of any number of target artifacts. 1, tap, sack another artifact, proliferate. That's pretty great.
Yeah. Especially if you are getting like treasures from someone or from something.
And it's not even any number of others. So you can enter and put 1 on itself.
You can even you can start to sacrifice if we have ran out, right? The emblem. We can just start to sacrifice our talismans or our whatever the other one is.
Any of those artifacts, yeah. You could just start throwing away soul rings, tap the soul ring for 2, use 1 mana to sack another artifact and 1 mana to replay it.
And then even if you've got your Ren out too.
Yeah. I like this a lot. That's very cool.
Continually sacrifice.
I absolutely love this card. It's Forgotten Ancient, 3 and a green elemental. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto another creature. So you can do like mini bombs of moving counters around at your turns and stuff like that. I love the ability to move these because, again, if you move and you drop, then your other enchantments are going to trigger again. But please, someone take this next the next combo piece. Daniel, I think you've had both of them so far.
Sure. Heliod Suncrowned, 2 and a white for a 5/5 legendary enchantment creature god. Indestructible. It's not a creature unless your devotion is 5. If it's less than 5. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. So, again, very, very easy to combo off. And 1 and a white, another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. So 1 and a white, you just lifelink with Shalai and attack, or just cause it to do any damage at all. And it's everything. They gain a life, you gain a life, they take a damage, you gain life from that damage, they lose a life. Yeah, it's good.
Machine gun.
Yeah, pew 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 pew. That's a game ender. I like that. Every deck's got to have something that can end, and it's not forced. You can play it whenever you need.
Yep. And that's the thing. I don't like combos that just like they happen like willy nilly. I'd rather be in control of it, so I can, if I need to dirtle a little bit, I can.
Yeah.
I don't like being that kind of a player. I want to take this one because I absolutely love this. This is one of the new uncommons that came out, and I was so surprised that they printed it. So it's Canby of Whispered Hopes, 2 and a green. If one or more, it's the spirit. If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a permanent you control, that many +1/+1s are put on that permanent instead. And you can tap it to add X mana of any color, where X is Canby of Whisper Hope's power.
Yeah, it's a solid artifact or a solid creature ramp.
Yeah, I added an uncommon. I was like, this is amazing. Plus the foiled one is just...
That's very cool looking.
Then we got Lathiel, the Bounteous Dawn, 2 green and a white for 2/2 legendary unicorn with lifelink. And at the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, distribute up to that many +1/+1 counters among any number of other target creatures.
That's cool.
I really like the art on this one.
I got it, and
foil,
and Jesse started losing his mind.
Yeah, he played. His deck was pretty cool. It was weird that he Aetherfluxed himself. I don't know why he would do that.
Oh yeah, I wonder why, Dan.
Man, that's a funny game.
Not like someone
I think
control of his
I
turn.
think that's the game that goes up next week. Yeah, that's funny. That's a really funny game. Yeah, we've got in my opinion, the very best Land War Elf.
I need more.
Yeah, one green for a 1/1 Elf Druid, taps for 1.
Yeah.
And then we got Mikaeus Lunanarch.
You skipped a card.
What?
You skipped a card. Luminarch Aspirant.
Oh yes, this one's needed. We got Luminarch Aspirant, 1 and a white. I was about to say green. We got a human cleric. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Yeah.
Again, I got staggered +1/+1 every trigger, every upkeeper at every phase of turns.
You got a lot of triggers to remember.
I need that token for match.
Yeah, right. All right, Brian, take the next one that you wanted to take so badly that you're skipping cards for. Geez.
Do you know what? I need more coffee. We got Mikaeus Lunarch, X and a white. Again, it's another big drop that we can put in at late game. Human Cleric, Mikaeus Lunarch enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. I typically, like when I'm laying out my cards by CMC, I'm usually counting this around like a 7 or 8 CMC. Like I'm looking at it as a big drop where I can do like, basically I'm thinking of like 16 damage if I'm able to do it.
I count this usually as a 2-drop for me, and I just start tapping it because I find people leave it alone that way.
We're different people.
Yeah.
Kind of able to sneak up on them a little bit more.
But I want the counters to come in on it, right?
Yeah, you want it to come in as a giant
so if I can
lightning
just do it
bolt
as a
from the
big
heavens.
bomb.
Yeah.
But it does have the ability we can tap to put a +1/+1 counter on him, or we can tap and remove a +1/+1 counter from a chaos to put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature I control.
Pretty good.
So yeah, I guess it all depends upon your hand if you're starting with him, because then he can start to get us more steady on the board by buffing our creatures and getting some blockers and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess it really all depends upon when Mikaeus comes into your possession.
You've definitely got to get for the next card, you got to get the better version, Brian, for sure.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Have you seen the other version yet?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I think this is the better. Actually, this isn't the one I have.
Okay,
actually,
you have the better version?
I like this one.
You have this one, or you have the better version?
Well, we're talking about Renata, folks.
Yeah.
Call to the hunt.
Do you have the Constellation version?
Buddy, I got so many of them.
Good.
I could wipe my butt for a year with them. Like I got so many.
Renata Call to the Hunt. We've got 2 double green powers equal to your devotion to green, and each other creature you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. I love it.
Yeah.
Not that I would do that though.
True.
I'm going to preface it.
But you could.
But I could. Yes.
I hope that they don't make a special version of the next card because I'll never find it.
I would have them all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they make like a cool like alternate art, full art something of this, I'll never get them ever.
Is just someone say the name?
The Seedborn Muse, Brian. It's Brian on a card.
Oh, if they a Secret Lair, I'd be all over that, even though I wasn't all over the Commander Green thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want the other cards. I just wanted the Seaboard.
The other Fraley's so good. I got so many of those.
But yeah, Seaboard Muse, 3/2 green spirit, untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step, and it is a 2/4.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Got a big butt.
Then we got Shalai, Voice of Plenty, 3 and a white for a 3/4 legendary angel with flying. You, planeswalkers you control, and other creatures you control have hexproof, and you can pay 4 double green to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
I love Shalai.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It's such a cool looking card.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think I've had this copy since I started Commander.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a steady companion with me over the years.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. It's very cool.
And it has the date stamp.
Ooh. We've got the Siege Veteran, 2 and a white. Beginning of combat on your turn, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature control. Again, a thing we like to do. 2/2 as well, Human Soldier. And whenever another non-token soldier you control dies, you create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact.
Or blockers.
Yeah, I like it.
And next up, Mail Day. I picked up a Solfum Mayhem Dominus, 2 and 2 red. I got the fancy foil inked art here. Phyrexian Horror. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals double that much damage to that player or permanent instead. 1 and 2 Phyrexian red. Discard 2 cards. Put an indestructible counter on Solfum Mayhem Dominus.
I like that.
I love this art.
I needed it. Jesse wouldn't trade it to me.
If there's a way that you can bounce your Solfim too with your Ozolith out, you can get those indestructible counters on the Ozolith and then start putting them through. Yeah, it's really cool that way.
True, yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so then you can...
If there's an indestructible counter on the Ozolith, is the Ozolith indestructible?
Yep.
I gotta go change my pants, guys.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool one for sure. We also have Spike Feeder, 1 double green for a spike, summon Spike. 0/0, it comes into play with 2 1/1 counters on it. Pay 2, remove a 1/1 counter on it. From it, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature, so great, you can move them around. And remove a 1/1 counter from it, you gain 2 life. So again, a very infinite comboable card.
Yeah, Jesse actually gave me this idea.
Yeah.
Combos with Heliod.
And Archangel of Thunia.
And Archangel, yeah.
And then
I like it.
I had the Forgotten Ancient. We're obviously going to be having Tauren Mauler in here, 2 in a red. Changeling. Shapeshifter. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Tauren Mauler. How fast do you guys want to die?
I still think it's so funny that I died to this as a forest walking elf. I still think that's so funny. Yeah, it's Tauren Mauler's really, really cool. I had something silly that made it so green creatures couldn't untap, and then Brian dropped down he had Tauren Mauler out and he played his forest walk elf and just steamrolled me. It's very cool. Tauren Mauler's a really interesting card to play with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was in my Dragon Changelings deck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I took that apart because it performed sometimes.
That the time I'm
And I
talking
needed
about,
the
it
land.
performed. Yeah.
Fair. We've got Verdurous Gear Hulk, 3 double green for a 4/4 artifact creature construct with trample. When Verdurous Gear Hulk enters the battlefield, distribute 4 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control.
I love the Gear Hulks.
Yeah.
I love them all. They're all so cool.
Let's do 8.
Yeah, they're really, really cool.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that you can make it an 8/8 for 5 is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like
I'll be putting all of these on Champion Lamphold. Let's be serious.
I was gonna say though, like even without your enchantments, the fact that this drops as a 5 mana 8/8 is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And
we'll let you read the 2 cards down. I'll let you read the backside of that one.
Oh, I know the backside of that one. Yeah, I'll let you have that one. I'll want this next one because I love it. It's your Vexing Shusher, hybrid red green for a 2/2 Goblin Shaman that cannot be countered, and 1 red 1 green hybrid. So just 1 mana hybrid. Target spell can't be countered by spells or abilities. It's really good.
Phenomenal.
It's a really good card.
After I think I was watching like Command Zone or something like that, and that's how the guy protected his win con.
Yep.
And I was like that's so easy. And I think I bought it when it was like $30, and
It'll climb back up. It always does.
They reprinted it like shortly after.
Oh, double masters, right?
But I do have the foiled version. I thought it just did come in non-foil.
Yeah, that's I think that's from the vault thing or something.
The next one here is the new Vorinclex 3 and 2 green Trample Reach Phyrexian Praetor. When Vorinclex enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 forest cards. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. 6, and it's a 6/6. You can pay 6 and 2 green and exile Vorinclex. Then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control, and I can activate this only as a sorcery. It will flip over and become the Grand Evolution. Number 1, mill 10 cards, put up to 2 creature cards from among the milled cards onto the battlefield. 2, distribute 7 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. Or I read it, 14. Number 3, until end of turn, creatures you control gain. Pay 1 colorless. This creature fights target creature you don't control, and then you exile the Grand Evolution, then return it to the battlefield. I love these. I love these Praetors.
These ones are really, really awesome.
Especially the new artwork.
Yeah. Like that art style is just, it's so good. I love it so much.
I really feel like they leaned more into the colors as well. Like he looks more like a tree folk, like a corrupted tree folk for his color.
Yeah. I love the fact that it just keeps getting you forests.
Yeah, just keeps
I love
looping.
Yeah. You also have big Vorinclex. Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. 4 double green for a 6/6 Phyrexian Praetor with Trample Haste Nuts abilities. If you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds on that permanent or player instead. Amazing ability. And if an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, they put half that many of each of them on that permanent or player instead, rounded down. So you totally destroy. You totally destroy experience counter decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nada.
Yeah, very cool card.
Yay. Unless for some reason they're doubling counters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they get 1.
Well, one is better than none.
Yeah.
Rounding out the creature section here, we've got Walking Ballista. Double X for a 0/0 artifact creature construct. Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. You can pay 4 to put a +1/+1 counter on it, or you can remove a +1/+1 counter from Walking Ballista to deal 1 damage to any target.
Another infinite. I like it.
Yeah.
Say I'm not doing infinites, but there's a few in here.
That's cool. It's a cool card.
Even without, so far
infinite,
I've really enjoyed this deck, and yeah, it's just like every time I go out, I see other cards. I think it's gonna get to a problem where I'm gonna have like 28 lands and be like, "What happened here? Oh, I saw so many nice cards that I kept slotting out lands for them."
I like this list a lot. It actually looks like a really fun deck.
Yeah,
it looks very consistent. You have a lot of ramp to get out what you need to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like even talking to like with Thunder and Whipsaw, like ramp seems to be like one of those things. And I like how Thunder within his deck building, he like sets those aside. He's like, this is my ramp. And I've been slowly like taking kind of like cues from you too, and seeing like the different like artifacts and stuff like that you're putting in, the talismans and the deck stones.
The deck building recipe is pretty cool.
Yeah,
the way that that Thunder approaches it, it's fun. It's fun to chat with people on Patreon about the about deck building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
everyone does it differently, so it's really cool to see the different viewpoints or methods to everyone's madness. It's
really easy to get caught like building for our own meta and stuff, and then you don't have the ability to go into other decks properly because everything over here is artifacts, so I can't not have artifact removal so heavy in here, and then you go into a non-artifact heavy deck meta, and you're like, okay, cool.
Oh, so you got only enchantments? So these cards are all.
Yeah, no, I think this is a very, very cool deck.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, like I mentioned, like I do feel like this one can be fairly strong. So I do kind of want to have or put together a sideboard So if people do want to play more higher powered, I'm going to start slotting other cards in. So
it a
I
little
might pick
faster
up
kind of thing.
if they do reprint all these really cheap mana ramps. I'll pick them up for the sake of that.
Yeah.
Well, they won't be cheap, but you like to crack boxes, so.
Yeah.
Jeweled Lotus goes silly. Jeweled Lotus is the best in Osgear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that.
You play it turn 1, play Osgear. Turn 2, you get 3 Jeweled Lotus. Remove Osgear if you want. Yeah, it's a cool one. Let's wrap it there. I like this deck a lot.
Yeah, me too.
And as always, listeners, viewers, leave us your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me hit this up. There we go. Thanks everyone so much for getting to the end of the episode. If you liked it, definitely share it, subscribe, like on any of the platforms you're watching it on. It does really help us out. Let us know what you think about the deck. I like seeing people's comments about how I should have built and what I should be putting into decks. They're often right. It's very fun. And yeah, I enjoy I build silly, and so do all of us. I think Brian built a really cool deck here with this one. If you want to go a little bit above and beyond supporting us that way, because that's the easiest, freest way to do it. Yeah, if you want to do that and donate to us, like making the show a little bit better and maybe me making better decks, go ahead and jump into the Patreon. We've got lots of cool benefits. We're going to be doing patron streams. We chat lots about deck building. Really good community of people just in general, and it's fun to do decks. Thanks everyone for checking the whole episode out. If you like our content, it's all on intothe99.com. We put up lots of stream games and we stream lots of games. We're going to be out at the face-to-face event. That's going to be a really fun time. So if you're in Alberta and going to the event, come check it out. See us play games. I'm going to probably be streaming the whole day there. It's going to be a really good time. So that's the whole reason we're going out, is to interact with the community a little bit more, play games, and I'm going to bring the glory of group hug to everyone, whether they like it or not. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah.